I think you can see you can categorize the news into 3 different things.
Okay.
Like the personal stories, like the one Martin did with water, which is one. Then you have the news or the conflict stories, like the one for tomorrow's paper. And then you have the feature stories, where we more like step back and just watch something going on. Where there's no conflict, like going to... yeah. You could just see how things are rolling. But the most interesting story and the different one to do on a daily basis is of course the conflict stories, because you have to choose which side you are on. And just for tomorrow you have the Ukraine peace track. Tractate between Russia. They had to sign it yesterday and they didn't. So there's war going on in Ukraine. And if you go to Donetsk or somewhere, you will have the pro-Russian and you have the Ukrainians. And if you ask one guy, you will have one answer. If you ask another guy, you will have another answer. But you still have to make a reportage from that area. How do you do that on a way where you can still have a balanced and honest way of showing how things is going on? We have Israel and we have the Swedish election coming up.
Swedish, Israel and Ukraine.
So that would be some of the top stories tomorrow.
Can I say something before you?
Yes.
I think maybe you have these classifications about different stories that you can organize in different boxes, like the urgent, the personal, and the just observation, and so on. But I think there are the combination of images and text are actually creating a fourth category, which is like having a life of its own in a way. I know that Thierry would call it something like propaganda or something, but I think it's about, when it's like photo montage, when you put 2 images together, then you create a kind of a new meaning. And I was just thinking again today's newspaper, and I of course read some BBC and other international bigger newspapers that I know you don't share the same responsibility of what to communicate, but there was a lot of these 3 young teenagers, Israeli teenagers that got killed. And then then afterwards I took the Politiken, and the first thing I saw, because I'm also very visual, I see pictures before I read, and then I saw these 3 teenagers. And I was just like, even though there was nothing saying about Israel here, somehow there was a kind of in the air,
metaphor.
It was a metaphor that was linking the 3 Israeli teenagers with the 3 Danish boys. So it's really like it became kind of we can identify with it. It could be our kids. These 3 Danish boys, that could be our kids, like the Israeli teenagers that got killed. So there was a kind of manipulation in between the lines, because every time you write something and you publish something, there's something in between the lines, And who is leading that message in between the lines, I don't know. So this is why I'm not going to call it propaganda in that way. But it was just my experience, and I just wanted to share it with you because we were discussing this now, and I was really reading about these 3 Israeli kids, and I had pictures from
Is it on purpose?
And then I saw these three teenagers. I don't know. My brain made a link.
Yeah.
But you're so wonderful.
So this is not.
It's a coincidence, or it's on purpose?
Yes, of course it's a coincidence. But this is why it's so wonderful making newspaper, because people sometimes it's on purpose, of course. But here there's absolutely no link, not at all.
I know.
So it's inside your head, but that's okay. It's actually okay. I think there's a lot of like this. This would be like a Christian figure if we had that on a
exactly.
It's like Jesus, right?
Yeah, it's a World Press winner style.
Like he's crucified, but he's not.
Yeah.
He's not. Maybe he's not Christian. It's another conflict, but of course you can put a symbol into it and other things. There's absolutely no meaning about this in the Hebrew text.
No. It's my turn.
That's too bad.